Hey guys, Mattyo here. Today we're back with a bang. Now I don't know about you, but I've seen brands pull all sorts of dumb moves on social media. Mostly though, you could chalk it up to ineptitude. I mean, they're companies, not people. However, the video that we're going to be taking a look at today can't be chalked up as a momentary mistake, like that time when United Airlines beat up that old Asian man, but instead we gotta look at it as an attempt to end their own brand, like that time when Blockbuster refused to buy Netflix. Today we're talking about Gillette, the razor company. Now, Gillette, the best a man can get, as you can guess, mostly sells men's razors. So could you explain to me in the comments down below if you can think of just one reason that they would put up a promotional video on their YouTube channel that insults men? Specifically, it seems like they've intended to accuse their main consumer base of constant sexual harassment worldwide. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't think that's going to go very well for them. Hey guys, just as I was putting this video together, I kind of noticed that Gillette re-uploaded a shorter 30-second version of the ad. So I just wanted to address that we're looking at the full-length 1 minute 48 second short film, as they called it, not the 30-second version. So if you want to see this video for yourself, be sure to make sure you're on the right one. And also, if you enjoyed this video at any time, please like and subscribe, it really helps me out. Let's get back to it. Honestly guys, I'm at a loss as for where to even start with this one. So I guess I'll just start with the amazing title. We believe the best men can be. Gillette short film. Yeah, that's what they went for. Just from that title, you can tell what's coming up. It's such a smug name. I have to give them some credit though, because the name really accurately describes what they're giving us. It's an oddly written, preachy video that accuses all men of being bad. Though I'm not really sure you can call it a short film. I mean, it's less than 2 minutes long. It's hardly a passing school project, let alone a short film. But let's take a look at it anyway.
Bullying.
The Me Too movement against sexual harassment.
Masculinity.
Is this the best a man can get?
So they open up with this shot of men of all colors and ages. Just so you know, this video is about all men, and not accusing one specific race or age of anything. I'm joking, but that's probably one of the real reasons for that shot. I mean, it's just an ad campaign for a huge company. Sexism? That's perfectly fine, 100% okay. But racism? Ageism? That's where Gillette draws the line. That's how we know that they're a morally sound company. Sexism? They'll let that through, but no racism and no ageism. And then what was with that weird, like, superimposed news reporters talking about, well, not talking about, saying the words bullying, Me Too movement, and toxic masculinity. And then following that up by a modified version of their tagline, asking, is this the best a man can get? Keep in mind that this is a company that's supposed to appeal to men. So why on earth would any PR department let them do that? Because to me, it really seems that given the context of the video, Gillette is trying to ask if bullying, sexual harassment and abuse, in relation to the Me Too movement, and toxic masculinity, which isn't an actual real thing, mind you, are the best men can do. Which to me really says that they believe that all men are bullies, sexual deviants, and toxic, I guess, whatever that means. Again, they sell razors. Why are they preaching to us? And then on top of that, they sell razors to men in order to make money. And to recap that, in the first 10 seconds of their ad, to men, they decided to insult and accuse their user base, and all men, of sexual assault and harassment. Seriously, just the first 10 seconds.
Is it? We can't hide from it.
Sexual harassment is taking over.
It's been going on far too long. We can't laugh it off.
Who's the daddy?
What I actually think she's trying to say.
Now, I understand there's a lot to unpack from that clip. I mean, there's so much going on. A kid being chased by bullies who all seem to be at least 10 years older than him, past another boy who was crying in his mother's arms because of some text messages he got. So first off, I've never seen any boys or men chase a kid like that in order to bully them. That's not something that happens commonplace. It's something that happens in movies, Gillette. It's not something that happens in the real world. And then you get the text messages that the crying kid receives. And honestly, they're so generic and out of touch. Like Gillette, nobody has actually used the word sissy in over 25 years. It's not a common insult. You could have gone into a COD lobby to get some actual material. I've heard worse things said to me by a 5-year-old over Xbox. And then you go into this weird clip of 3 smug white boys sitting on a couch watching TV. And why does it seem like you were trying to make a point with that shot? Like, that shot was it was purposeful because it was a short film. So what point were you making? That white men watching TV is bad? Damn, all those men and their abhorrent television watching habits. We can't have that anymore. That's toxic masculinity. Or were you trying to make out like they were committing some kind of sex crime because they were watching some kind of strange cut between a 50s comedy footage and a pool party video? Now, I could understand if you wanted to attack show writers for putting mildly suggestive themes into their shows that could be accused of being degrading to women, but to attack men for watching what's on TV? Come on. Honestly, so far, this is just so insulting. I mean, we're not even halfway through the video, and they've already accused us of being a sexual assaulter. They've accused us of being a bully. They've accused us of all sorts of stuff, toxic masculinity. And they doubled down on that with some weird footage of kids on a couch and a kid being chased. That's so strange to me. And of course, at the end, they threw in mansplaining with the boss putting his hand on the lady and being like, I think what she's trying to say. Now, of course, mansplaining is also not real. It's a sexist term. But I mean, if you're gonna go full woke, you gotta throw that in there too, because you gotta get, like, the trifecta. But it continues to get worse, trust me.
Making the same old excuses.
Boys will be boys.
Boys will be boys. Boys will be boys.
But
Yep, they went all out with their straw men in this commercial. Toxic masculinity, mansplaining, and boys will be boys. I didn't think that would be possible, but I feel like I'm actually losing brain cells. I mean, the boys will be boys excuse isn't something that actually happens in any serious scenario in real life. It happens, like, you know, if two boys are wrestling or play fighting as kids, they're not doing anything wrong when they're doing that. Young boys fight. It's just something we do. That's literally the only scenario I've ever heard somebody use that phrase to describe. I mean, boys just, you know, they're aggressive. So boys will be boys. I've never seen anybody take a serious, like, case of bullying or whatever and be like, oh, Timmy, he took out a knife and he threatened somebody. Oh, those darn boys, they'll be boys. That doesn't happen in real life. That's not a real thing. And nobody's ever responded to a serious thing by saying, oh, well, he's just a boy, he'll grow out of it. That kind of stuff doesn't happen. Especially not in the current climate. Now, I mean, also, if you can just show me one man who didn't do a little lighthearted fighting with his siblings or friends as a kid, I'm willing to bet that he's got a BuzzFeed channel now. Not exactly the most masculine men. I mean, in fact, didn't the guys at BuzzFeed find out their testosterone levels were really low for a video? I mean, you're a razor company. You're supposed to try to appeal to men who are capable of growing facial hair, not men who cry when there's a spider in their room.
something finally changed.
Allegations regarding sexual assault and sexual harassment.
And there will be no going back. Because we believe in the best in men.
If you really believed the best in men, would you have spent the first half of your video talking down to them? Like, it really seemed to me that you were trying to accuse our entire sex of essentially being misogynists, rapists, and bullies. If you wanted to highlight the good things that men do, you could have. Men do a lot of good things. So do women. Sex doesn't make you any less or more likely to be a bad person. And honestly, this whole commercial thus far has been some kind of weird sexist assault on your own customer base. And to top it off, in that news section, you used the Young Turks girl. I mean, you know that's an incredibly biased left-wing news source, right? They share their name, the Young Turks. They share their name with the group that actually committed the Armenian genocide. And as far as I'm aware, they still deny the Armenian genocide's existence. So I mean, how'd that trash get in there? Your entire PR team staff must be radical left-wing identitarians. How does this happen? And honestly though, come on, I want to see what these people think is the best in men. I'm really excited to find out. Let's take a look.
Men need to hold other men accountable.
Smile, sweetie. Come on.
To say the right thing. To act the right way.
Bro, not cool, not cool.
Some already are. In ways big
Yo, men, we're acting like we gonna shake it.
and small.
I am strong.
But some is not enough.
It's not how we treat each other, okay?
Okay.
Because the boys watching today will be the men of tomorrow.
Aw, isn't that just so heartwarming? I mean, it really is. Just a display of men doing good things, overshadowed by the voiceover which said that some men were already stopping this problematic behavior. And what I find wrong with that is that the message that they're sending by saying that only some men are not okay with misogyny and are starting to stand up to it is that they're directly implying that the majority of men, in fact, all but this little few who are standing up, are guilty of it. That's so ridiculous. You're a huge company, massive, and you have a PR budget, don't you? Honestly, I think you need to fire your entire team. Anybody who wrote this, approved it, filmed it, edited it, and then put it on YouTube, they should all lose their jobs because they're not acting in your company's best interests. Honestly, they're just alienating you from your consumer base. They've caused a huge hit to your company's reputation at any point because, I mean, at any moment during that process when this film was made, all it would have taken was one guy to say, hey, guys, this wasn't a good idea. Though I doubt he'd be listened to. I mean, happens a lot though, Gillette, I can't blame you. You're just pulling a Logan Paul on us. You do something bad and somehow it makes it through everything, without anybody ever questioning it. Now, of course, dear viewer, you might think I'm just one guy who's reading way too much into this short video, but I'm not. The backlash on YouTube has been huge. As of writing, the video has 161,000 dislikes in less than a day. That's setting it up to hit the top 50 most disliked video list in just over a week, if it continues at that rate. Oh, and the ratio is horrendous as well. 16,000 people have liked it right now. Only 16,000, 16,000 likes, 161,000 dislikes. 161,000 dislikes. That's a huge disparity. And I mean, honestly, I'm amazed that it is so few likes because it's like the kind of woke video that Twitter users would eat up. Though you did post it on YouTube, that's where you messed up. But I mean, also the comments are just a gold mine. Take a look. Now, my personal favorite one is one that they replied to, but then quickly deleted. So I had to get the screenshot from online because it was gone when I went to take it myself. So excuse the non-English YouTube layout, but the comment read, "My wife's son loved this. Thank you," which the Gillette PR team really misinterpreted. They took it as a message saying that they were inspiring young boys. And they hearted it, and then they responded, "Happy to hear that he enjoyed it, and thank you for watching." And I mean, very clearly that the commentator was trying to make the point that only cucks enjoy this kind of video. But I mean, I know what he means, especially in this scenario. Real men aren't gonna like this. Men who buy razors aren't gonna like this kind of video where you accuse them of stuff. Only cucks. Gillette did get made fun of very fast for that comment and then removed it. Which seems to be a common thread with the comments on that video, because they've removed a lot of comments. And it appears that they're deleting them as I was making this video too. I mean, people are claiming it all through the comments section, and while I was doing the research for this video, I was looking through the comments myself. I refreshed the page, and all of the top comments that had been leading were now gone and replaced with new top comments, and they weren't like, overshadowed by the likes or anything, because the ones that were on there had like hundreds of likes, hundreds of thumbs up. They were at the top because of that. And then suddenly the top comment has like 28 likes. So they're actively going through and censoring the comments on the video. I mean, somebody just needs to tell them that you can disable comments on a YouTube video. It's not hard. Oh, and also when I refreshed my page, my dislike was removed from the video. So I had to re-dislike it, so they're undisliking it for people. It's kind of crazy, actually. In conclusion to this video, I do want to point out that I might have been a little ranty here and there, and I'm sorry about that. And I kind of want to hear what you guys have to say in the comments down below. That would be amazing, and I'll reply to you. But I want to make my own point as well. I just want to point out that I wouldn't be remotely as upset about this if it had been a different company. We all know that corporate PR culture is pretty left-wing, SJW. People who actually use terms like toxic masculinity and think that they're a real thing. But when you work at a company that makes a product for men, whose tagline is literally, "the best a man can get," then perhaps you shouldn't insult all men in an ad campaign. This was a horrendous display, and it just showed the massive difference between the people who Gillette believe by their products and the people who actually do, as evidenced by the dislikes and comments on the video. And I got a couple of words of advice for your corporate future, Gillette. Men are not horrible creatures. We are not all bad. Not all men are misogynists. Not all men are sexual assaulters. Not all men are bullies. This ad was just horribly sexist against men. Against all men. And you should just remove the video. You should apologize. You should get new PR representatives. And in future, please keep in mind the ancient wisdom. Go woke, get broke. Thank you so much for watching my video, guys. If you enjoyed it, please click like and subscribe. I'd love to hear your takes on this in the comments section, and I always try to respond to comments, so hit me up and I might respond. Thank you so much for watching, and God bless you.